It's Friday, not Thursday. What the heck's going on here, Dom? We got a lot going on because we want to tell you about a rumor that we might have heard about. We want to get it out there. And also, Krasner goes head-to-head with Cipriano again. And Dom, if they can't get catalytic converters, they're going to come after something else. They found their new target. So we'll get into all that today. That's this week
Got it.
on KRASNERLAND. My name is Dan Borowski, the producer of the Dom Giordano program with the aforementioned Dom Giordano of the Dom Giordano program. Dom, some positive rumors that we heard this week. Why don't you tell us what we heard?
Yeah, I heard from a couple of sources now, but we haven't verified it yet, that Larry Krasner may assume some big progressive position. When I told that to someone last night at Mayfair night, they went, well, that's great, but you mean he might be the attorney general? No, I don't think so. But I'd have to say for KRASNERLAND purposes, A, we get rid of him. B, he won't be in that position very long before the Biden people would get rid of him for obvious reasons. So it's out there, sort of. We're monitoring it. We don't have any word yet that he might be leaving town. That's the bottom line, to accept a bigger position. Haven't seen anything in the last 24 hours to up that. I don't know that anybody's asked him about it. I have a couple of reporters I told, and I'm sure asking people there, maybe if we floated enough, somehow or another, we'll see.
There's not a chance before the next election that we need a new Supreme Court justice or anything. Because remember, he was on that short list for Supreme Court when it was released.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm trying to go through the list on their side. They're all, youngish, relatively youngish. Don't see it. On the Republican side, Clarence Thomas is the one who might have quit before. I don't think he'll do it come hell or high water now.
Good. That's good to hear. So Larry, if he's gone, I mean, this might be wishful thinking on our part. We don't know yet. It's just a rumor out there. But if he leaves, what happens? Who replaces him? And
what happens is the judges, is it the Common Police Court, I believe, I guess there's 60 or 65 of them, Dan. They get to vote then on picking. The last time this happened that I remember was Lynn Abraham was a judge, and they picked her. It was a contest, but she won pretty handily. She became the DA pretty easily. I forget if the DA moved on to some other position, and she became the DA and was one of the best known ones in quite a while.
Are you fearful that, Krasner is a smug individual? He's relentless. I would argue that, I'm not arguing with you. You say it all the time. Krasner is the worst progressive DA there is out of all of them.
Right.
Are you fearful at all that someone might come in here and be worse than Krasner?
No, it's impossible because some of these guys are equally progressive, but they don't have his smugness, his arrogance, his just all out. I'm going to do, he's basically telling you, I'm going to do what I want. I don't see anybody in the country that I could imagine. Not only that, Kevin Bacon loves him. So there's that. No, it won't be worse. It'll be noticeably better, just like Sherelle Parker or David O will be noticeably better. How much better than Jim Kenney? It's got to be a lot better. And the key thing is for us, the police commissioner, it's got to be better. If it's Danielle Outlaw, even if it's Sherelle Parker that keeps her, which she might, I think it's a long shot, I have to denounce her then right away. That's it. I'm off. Yeah. That is such a deal breaker. That would be a sign, my God.
Just a reminder to listeners and viewers, Sherelle Parker, while on the campaign trail, Dom asked multiple times, what are you going to do about Commissioner Outlaw? And she said, I do not make personnel decisions on the campaign. So it's kind of out there.
Yep, exactly.
So Dom, a lot of drama happened out on the internet with the people that want to get the truth out there in Philadelphia. It seems like the Inquirer, a lot of sources have some other ulterior motive. I don't know. We'll start with real quick. I'm sure you saw Philly Crime Update. Sergeant Mark Fusetti going back and forth with a Philadelphia Inquirer writer after Philly Crime Update posted that a police cruiser was surrounded by motorbikes, ATVs. Inquirer reported that a far-right, blogger was producing misinformation, and like a champ, Philly Crime Update, egg on the face of the Inquirer reporters, posted audio from the event, proving that it did indeed happen. Dom, is there something over the Inquirer that is preventing them from reporting the truth on Krasner? What is it preventing them from actually reporting on crime? I mean, I assume there was a time, right, when the paper had pages that reported crime. So if you saw police down the street, you could look in the paper next day and find out what happened. I mean,
they actually called it crime. Now I don't know what they call it. And Philly Crime Update is so buttoned up, so well researched, calm. They are former people inside stuff that they won't even put their name out because they don't want to be compromised by it. They're the last people. And also, what do they deal in? Essentially, police calls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, around the clock. They listen to them, then tell us what's going on. Does the Inquirer do that? No. So I just think somebody at the Inquirer got loose. They've been waiting to go after this for a while, Dan. And that's why they had egg on their face. But of course, the people in the public know it. Nobody else talked about this except us on the station. So there you go. And on the internet, you can see it. But again, the major newspapers doing it. The TV stations don't seem to have the sense that this was a story. Who's right definitively? And Philly Crime Update are right, not the Inquirer.
Yeah. Another person that's out there trying to report what's going on, asking the hard questions, is Ralph Cipriano, who had a chance to confront Vincent Hughes. Tell us real quick, Dom, give us some context around State Senator Vincent Hughes. Is he another Krasner hyper-progressive? Where does he stand on all that? And why is he standing with Krasner on a regular basis?
He is as out of control as anybody. He's the czar of all this COVID money and all the money that comes into Philadelphia. He's married to one of the women in the Abbott Elementary, big-time player, and he wants more gun laws, Dan. And I think the story here is not only Cipriano confronting him because Larry Krasner won't enforce the key drug law that we have, but connect the dots again. Who was there? Marshall Dillon, the state senator from Mayfair.
Jimmy Dillon.
Yes, Jimmy Dillon. And the people in Mayfair, we went to this big event honoring Father Judge, St. Hubert's cheerleaders. It was hopping, as Roe would say, hundreds of people in Mayfair on Thursday night. Yeah. And just the vibe I get from these people, they're not progressives. They're the remnants who are fighting for their city. But they vote Democrat. They voted for this guy over Sam Oropesa. And this guy stood there wanting more gun laws, tall guy in the suit with Larry Krasner and this Vincent Hughes. And again, does the media report any of this stuff? This guy right here, right to the extended arm. That's him right there. Yes, thank you. That's a guy from Mayfair. What the hell is he doing there? Does that represent this? So I'm really tired of these seemingly moderate Democrats. They don't get it. They keep on voting for Democrats because he's an Irish guy from Northeast Philadelphia and knows everybody. They don't see him as a threat. Who does he stand with? Larry the K. Well, then don't complain. Don't complain when that young kid got shot, the 14-year-old we talk about often, the Mayfair riot of 100 people just ravaging it, the pizza shop people in Mayfair. Stop complaining. You vote for guys like that stand with Larry Krasner. If you voted for Sam Oropesa, the only way he would be there is if it was a charity wrestling match and he had Larry Krasner in a headlock.
Kind of looks like Larry's picking his nose a little bit.
Yeah, let's get a close up of that. You know what it is? He's not used to people. He's looking at these kids and saying, "Why are they not standing and looking straight ahead on the little?"
He's wondering where my boxes are. Where are my boxes?
Why do I have to stand up here? Where's my chair? What's this guy doing?
This is not the organized standing I demand from all my
North Korean footage. Yes.
All right, so for the viewers, what you're going to hear here is you got Vincent Hughes right in the center here, this guy, and Ralph Cipriano's asking questions, and it kind of goes quiet. It's kind of hard to hear, and I apologize. I don't have the live ability to raise that volume up. But what Ralph Cipriano's questioning when it goes quiet is, why are you introducing more gun laws when you have a man standing behind you who refuses to enforce the ones on the books? So take a listen.
Reside in districts and say, call your senator. Please have them put it up for a vote. Because it passed the House of Representatives, the governor is going to sign it one step away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, I got a question for you. I want to read you a quote. Quote, "We do not believe that arresting people and protecting them from illegal gun possession is a viable strategy protect it. This DA doesn't believe in enforcing the gun law is currently on the book. What makes you think he would enforce new gun law?
I love the
Yeah.
political move of I'm going to turn around and make Krasner pretty much. You take this one, Larry. This is you. I am not even going to touch this.
And Jimmy Dillon is moved out of the picture, trying to get out of there from Mayfair.
Yeah, his head is going very close to that palm for a face palm there. But,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Senator, I'm asking you.
You're asking me?
Yes, sir.
I believe he's been working hard to try to reduce gun violence in Philadelphia. I believe he's been doing his job. All right. And so every event that we've had, he's been there with us. Am I correct? Not missed one.
yes, sir.
Hold on. You asked me the question. I'm gonna answer it. All right. Then we're gonna go to the next person. All right. The question at hand is, what are the Republican-controlled senators who are not moving
There it
this
is.
legislation?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Because we've reduced the numbers here in Philadelphia by all of us working together to make a difference. What are the Republican-controlled senators doing? The Republican-controlled Senate that's blocking legislation that's moved out of the House, that has overwhelming public support, and the governor is prepared to sign. That's the question here today. The question here today is not any one of us individually. The question here today is, what are we doing, and what is the Republican-controlled Senate? Next.
What
It's
is
just complete bloviating moron. I think both is that, and he doesn't get what the contention is. And if you're going to have media here, we say this all the time, you got to have a microphone so people can hear him, and you have to allow a follow-up.
Can I suggest a new nickname for Ralph?
Yeah.
Ralph the Closer Cipriano.
Yeah.
He's very good at closing out these press conferences, because right after his question.
Next question. Next question. Are there any other questions?
You're not going to answer another question. One question for you. Since this DA took office,
We're not answering questions about the district attorney. Thank you all very much.
And I would just say, well, is that Marshall Dillon I see there next to you? Marshall, I have a question about the Badlands of Mayfair.
Oh man, the Badlands of Mayfair. I mean, wasn't there a car chase while we were there? Allegedly.
Apparently, according to our source, yeah, major car chase right down Frankfurt Avenue in the middle of this. These people see it. They are union Democrats. Is that important to them to vote for the unions? You got to vote Democrat. Then don't tell us about Mayfair, the carnage, the violence, and all that. Stop talking to them. I don't know what to do.
Couple news briefs. Philadelphia, 52nd and Ludlow Street, late Wednesday night. Dom, a girl, 11-year-old girl, suffered graze wounds to their back, hip, and leg.
Right.
After 30 shots were fired by a 32-year-old man was shot once in the leg. Absolutely horrific, but just another instance of the violence affecting the innocent. It's the implications of Krasner's policies. And then we have over where was this? South Philadelphia, a carjacking, a 15-year-old, Rashid Banks, we're talking 15 years old, is accused now of shooting a gentleman for a carjacking at, what is the street? Porter Street, 1100 block of Porter Street, Tom.
Well,
So
I mentioned that Porter Street is safe, relatively safe in my mind, but we had a carjacking, a pizza delivery driver in Chestnut Hill this week. So
let's check that out, Tom.
Yeah.
Happening right now, detectives are trying to track down the suspect who ran from the scene. Action News reporter John Paul, he joins us now live in Chestnut Hill with the very latest on this investigation. John, bring us up to speed.
Yeah, Grace, Shari, the whole thing unfolded in the parking lot just behind me last night. Now, the pizza delivery driver says he came here to deliver a pizza when two guys with guns approached him, but he was carrying a gun too.
Male getting robbed by a group of males, point a gun, shots also heard.
That call came in around midnight from the Chestnut Hill Apartments on Stenton Avenue. A 21-year-old pizza delivery driver from Queen Bee's, about a mile away, says two masked men pulled a gun on him while he was trying to make a delivery. But the driver has a license to carry a gun and tried to defend himself.
It appears that this was a robbery, carjacking, and our delivery man, the victim of the robbery, was able to pull his weapon. He was in a shootout with one of the perpetrators, and that perpetrator was shot in the lower back.
A 23-year-old suspect was found about 300 feet away suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The other suspect ran off. The driver was shaken up, but safe. And people who live here say he did the right thing.
And right there. But Chestnut Hill, I mean, that's a very nice area, is it not?
Yeah, I know that place well. I go by it multiple times a week. It's high rent. It looks fancy from the outside. It's only about, I'd say, a mile away from the pickleball court in Chestnut Hill. Oh, my God. If there were carjacking around the pickleball court, there might be trouble.
So you heard Vincent Hughes there calling for, more gun laws, but you have a situation that's been created here in KRASNERLAND where a person is forced to defend themselves because people feel they're, able to get away with crimes like this because they have been getting away with it. A 15-year-old is now emulating these adults who are getting away with these crimes. This is a freaking environment that this guy has created. So good riddance. Get the hell out of Philadelphia, Larry. Go ahead, Dom. I heard you there.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, even if he were attorney general for a brief period of time, anything to get him out of here. There will not be anybody in that office. He doesn't get to pick if he goes. It's a vote of the judges. And my sense is it will not be a Helen Gim or anything like that. It'll be a more moderate liberal who will be an upgrade from what Krasner has crafted here.
Yeah, anything, quality of life crimes. See, we're talking here about the damage it's been doing to children, this society Krasner's created. The final thing today, Dom, I talked about my catalytic converter got stolen twice, or attempted once, then stolen the second time. Catalytic converters thefts, I would assume they've gone down after Montgomery County had to step in and actually handle it, charging that junkyard. So my assumption is, you have these people who are thieves who are getting away with it in Philadelphia, but they know that maybe the catalytic converters are being watched a little bit heavier now after the Philadelphia Police Department and all got further deeper involved in that.
Right.
So, find something new. How do we make money now? Because in a world of thieves that Larry Krasner has created, this is something you can get away with. And look at the safety hazards they can create, these thieves, for individuals, just, unassumingly.
Yeah, and Sarah, I can tell you, it's probably something most people never even pay attention to. This is what is called a fire department connection or connector. This is what it's supposed to look like. If you come down here, this one has the brass missing. Now, this theft is happening all over Northern Liberties and other neighborhoods. Philadelphia police are once again investigating. You can hear the sound of the brass as this thief casually walked away with the fire department connector located outside of Matt Dunphy's home, and he was quick to notice it missing.
This is actually the second time now in 4 years that my fire department connector
This is funny. This is 6 ABC at its greatest.
Action News first met Matt in 2019.
It's not just mine that's gone.
That's him.
The first time.
That's him 4 years ago complaining about the same thing.
Firefighters to operate the internal sprinkler systems and put out fires quickly.
But Dom, how dangerous is that? A firefighter comes to put out a fire at a house and he can't plug in for the water.
Yeah, well, the Inquirer would probably say Donald Trump or Talk Radio or Fox are responsible. It is an endless thing. And the police commissioner never appears to underline this and say what we're saying, how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
You got to be the first person on the scene doing that.
Until progressives stop enabling criminality, particularly the Philadelphia Inquirer and our justice system, we will not be able to live in a safer environment. So, Inquirer, do your jobs, report truthfully, and let's make Philadelphia safer for everybody, and stop going after people like Philly Crime Up, who's just exactly trying to do what you've refused to do these past couple of years. Dom, that's all we got for KRASNERLAND today. It was a very easy to prepare for a week. We want to do this quick little Friday show here to get that rumor out there, message out there, celebrate a little bit, to be honest with you. But Dom, what do we got coming up next week? You're heading out of Philadelphia and going to enjoy a little break.
Coming to you from my remote studio down there in the Wildwood Convention Center. We got the usual show. Thinking of doing the big list this week, since I took so much heat on the songs, the top 10 shore towns. Okay?
That's going to cause maybe more heat.
Yeah, yes. I'm not including any of those Northern Jersey, that nonsense. I might throw in Long Beach Township due to the mayor Mancini. Was a heck of a guy who came on the show. That might be on there.
Well, he seemed to almost make the case more so for Barnegat Light because all those great fresh scallops we get to enjoy.
Exactly.
The economy of Barnegat Light up there on that
island. I'm thinking North Wildwood. I'm leaning toward is number one.
Oh,
sorry, Mayor Pete.
I'd make the argument for Ocean City.
The beaches aren't free. There's a couple of other things. Yeah,
That's true. But the
not
amenities,
not a fan of the mayor. He's too good to not. There's a piping plover.
But you don't have to walk 8 miles to get to the water, which is nice.
Well, you don't in North Wildwood. You got to walk 10 steps, and that's
true.
it. That's the beach. Thank you.
I don't have to risk breaking my leg off of a dune one of Phil Murphy's dunes.
True.
Or maybe that might be a problem elsewhere in the shore. We should probably look into that.
Right.
All right, Dom. Let's get out of here. Everyone have a nice weekend. We will see you all Monday.
Take care, everybody.
12 to 3 on the Dom Giordano program.